In Welsh mythology, Mathonwy, also called Mathonwy, was a king of Gwynedd who needed to rest his feet in the lap of a virgin unless he was at war, or he would die. The story of Math is the fourth book of the four branches of the Mabinogi. The Mabinogi of Math. Math is tricked by his nephews. Math's nephew Mathonwy had become obsessed with Gwynedd, Math's footholder. The magician Gwynedd devised a plan to make Gwynedd available. Gwynedd told his uncle about an animal that was new to Wales called pigs, and how he could get them from their owner, die.The. He took a band of men, including his brother, to Ceredigion, where they disguised themselves as bards to gain audience with King die.The. Gwynedd was a skilled cypher and regaled the court with his tales. Having charmed the king, he offered to trade the pigs for some horses and dogs, which he had conjured through magic. Die.The. agreed to the trade, and Gwynedd and his men took the pigs back home to Gwynedd. But his trickery was revealed, and die.The. waged war against Gwynedd. While Math went to battle, Mathonwy raped Gwynedd. The war ended when Gwynedd killed die.The. in single combat. Upon his return to his castle, King Math went to rest his feet in Gwynedd's lap, but could not, as she was no longer a virgin. He took her as his wife to save her honor, and then as punishment banished his nephews, turning them into a breeding pair of deer for a year. He then turned them into wild boars for the next year and wolves the year after that. They had 3 children over the 3 years: Hyddwn, Hychdwn, and Bladedwn. Gwynedd and his nephew, after their punishment was over, Math asked their advice as to who should be his next virgin footholder. Gwynedd suggested his sister, Arianrhod. However, Arianrhod was not a virgin, and when asked to step over Math's rod in order to prove her virginity, she immediately gave birth to a son. Abandoning the child, she fled in shame, letting drop a lump of flesh, which was borne away by Gwynedd and concealed in a chest. When Gwynedd later opens the chest, he discovered the lump of flesh to be a second child. Meanwhile, the firstborn son of Arianrhod was acknowledged by his great-uncle Math and given the name Dylan upon baptism. However, as soon as Dylan came in contact with his baptismal waters, he plunged into the sea and took on characteristics of a sea creature, moving through the seawater as perfectly as any fish, thus earning his new name. Dylan ailed on Dylan's second wave, so they had the boy baptized, and as they baptized him he plunged into the sea, and immediately when he was in the sea, he took its nature, and swam as well as the best fish that was therein. The unnamed second child grew precociously, and he and Gwynedd grew very attached to one another. After 4 years, Gwynedd took the boy to see his mother, who refused to recognize him out of shame and anger that Gwynedd should have nurtured the boy, and placed it on him that he should have no name unless she gave it to him. To trick her into naming him, Gwynedd disguised himself and the boy as shoemakers, and as they were making shoes for her, the boy threw a stone at a bird and killed it. Arianrhod declared the fair one struck with a deft hand, and thus he was named Llewellawgifs. His trick revealed, Arianrhod placed a ting on the boy again that he would not take up arms until she gave them to him. Time passed and Llew grew big and strong. Again, Gwynedd disguised his nephew and himself, this time as bards, and like he did to King die.The., entertained Arianrhod's court with stories. In the morning, Gwynedd deceived Arianrhod to believe that her estate was under attack. When she asked for his advice, he bade her gird a sword on Llewellawgifs, whom he said was a skillful fighter. No sooner had she done so, than Gwynedd revealed the truth. Furious at being tricked again, Arianrhod placed a ting on her son once more, that he would never have a human wife. By this time, Math had come to sympathize with Gwynedd. Together, the wizards created a woman from the flowers of the oak, of broom and of meadowsweet and brought her to life, giving her the name Blodeuwedd. Lleu and Blodeuwedd. One day, when Lleu was away from home visiting Math, Blodeuwedd saw a nobleman named Gwynedd passing and invited him to stay. They fell in love and concocted a plot to kill Lleu. Blodeuwedd elicited from Lleu how he could be killed, with one foot on the back of a goat and the other on the rim of a bath of water, underneath a canopy, using a spear that had been made over the course of a year only on Sundays whilst the people were at Mass. She told this to Gwynedd and he set out to make the spear. A year later, she persuaded Lleu to demonstrate this odd position where he might be killed. Suspecting nothing, he did so. Gwynedd, who had been waiting in ambush, threw the spear he had made at him. However, rather than dying outright, Lleu turned into an eagle and flew away wounded. Gwynedd then took Blodeuwedd and Lleu's land. Gwydion went searching for his nephew and, by following a pig, found him in a very bad state at the top of an oak tree by a lake. He called him down from the tree with 3 stanzas of poetry called Englyn Gwydion, transformed him back into a man and with Math nursed him back to health. Then Lleu sought revenge on Gwynedd and his wife. Blodeuwedd heard of this and fled, taking her maidens with her, but they were so frightened that they ended up walking backwards to make sure nobody attacked them from behind. Unfortunately, they ended up falling into a lake, with only Blodeuwedd surviving. Gwydion captured her and instead of killing her, turned her into an owl and cursed her with this form permanently through giving her the name Blodeuwedd, reflecting the owl's appearance. Gwynedd offered Lleu land and money as payment, but Lleu would only accept one resolution, that he throw a spear at Gwynedd in the same way that he had been attacked. Gwynedd accepted, but asked that a large stone be placed between him and Lleu. Nevertheless, Lleu threw the spear right through the stone and killed Gwynedd. After this he took back his lands and later succeeded Math as king of Gwynedd. Etymology. The name Math is thought to derive from the Proto-Celtic *, Matu, meaning there.